Welcome back, everybody, to Unitedverse. Everybody, I am your host, Sean. We are back with another Man United News Roundup this afternoon, a little earlier than I typically will go live, but this was a good time that worked for me today, and it seems like some of you actually were able to make it. More of you actually make it sometimes when I go a little earlier, so it's not always going to happen. Typically, it's going to be in the evening just because that's just the way it works for me and my schedule, but today, you get a bonus. So we are back. We've got lots to talk about today, a little bit of striker updates. We've got some ins and outs. I want to start, though, by talking about that friendly from the other night, that late kickoff against Bournemouth, because I got thoughts. I know you guys have thoughts. We're going to talk about it. Not going too hard. It's just a friendly, right? 21 may or may not be coming, but we'll talk about it. And of course, I've got some scouting reports for you guys. So that is what we're going to tackle today. Hope everyone is doing well. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions on all the latest and greatest news and everything and the friendlies. So like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 3K subscribers. If we get there before United kicks a ball against Arsenal to start the Premier League season, we will do a giveaway. Brand new 25-26 United shirt of your choosing. Whoever wins, home, third, away. If you want a name set on it, cool. We'll hook you up. I'll throw down on that. But you guys got to help us get there before the season starts. It's a couple weeks. I think it can happen. I've seen it happen before. It's really up to you guys, though. So you guys got to carry that weight, but I'll back you. I'll support you. I think we can do it. I believe in you. So check the memberships as well, you guys. It's the best way to get involved in the content on the channel in terms of scouting reports, suggestions. You can even join in for the weekly kickabout. To share your thoughts on a couple topics on there if you guys are Legends members. So take a look at that as well. And then don't forget, a couple days left for 20% off in the Unitedverse Everybody store. Look at that, 3 days left. And I will say it is the return of the 9.5 shirt. It is back for this sale. You guys like it. I love it. I'm wearing it right now. It is the 9.5 shirt. It is back. You can get that. You can get the brand new Mbumo shirt. Here comes the Mboom. The OG green and gold Unitedverse Everybody shirt is in there. As you can see, we've got them in tees. We've got them in long sleeve tees. We got them in hoodies. We've got them in mugs. You can get your coffee on or your tea, whatever you want to do. Oh, the Cliff. I love this one, the Class of 92, the Cliff. I actually just took advantage of the 20% off myself and got this in a hoodie. So that'll be legit. Probably going to wear that on the plane when Dylan and I go in December. So as you can see, I take advantage of the sales because I don't price these so high to where I will make a whole lot of money on them. It's actually better for me to take advantage of the sales than any sort of at cost I get. I really like the baseball tee too. The baseball tees are legit. So 20% off, you guys. Go take advantage of that for the next couple days. It's only going to be here for the next few days. So I want to make sure I hooked you guys up. But here's the Crank It Up, the 9.5 shirt. In the flesh, live, in living color, Slash's Snake Pit. Speaking of blast from the past, we're already talking about the 9.5 shirt. How you been, man? Hope everyone, yes, it has been a while. We are glad to have you back, man. Make sure you were jumping in. But yes, couple days left, you guys, 20% off in the store. Go check it out. Let's kick off some topics here because we've got a lot to talk about. I just want to make sure I'm getting everything going. So how's everybody doing today? It is Friday. It does not feel like Friday. Apologies ahead of time if I start yawning and whatnot because it's not been a good week. We picked up our dog from surgery on Tuesday, and she can't be around the other dog at night, and so I'm just getting these screens looked up here. So I've had to be sleeping with her on the couch downstairs to keep her from kind of walking around and whatnot. But she's so fidgety, and she's so groggy and coming off of different medications and stuff, she just doesn't sit still. So I have not been sleeping all that well. So probably running on maybe a combined like 10 hours for the last 3 nights. So awesome. But we are back kicking off. So first off, big up the women's team. They finally made a signing. Midfielder Julia Gigliotti joins United's women's teams from Bayern Munich. So very highly rated young midfielder. So glad to see the women's team kind of cruising along. Glad to see Ineos kind of, opening up the pocketbook here and getting some additions to that women's team. We've seen a lot of players come and go from the women's team. I mean, we talk a lot about the first team, but the women's team has seen its fair share of really, really talented female footballers come and go. Obviously, Mary Earps recently went. We saw both Tobin Heath and Kristen Press come and go a few years back as well. I like a lot of the women we have now are really, really good. Like Fallon Tullis-Joyce and Keith. Sorry, I'm just tired. You guys know I'm running on no sleep. And then obviously Ella and Grace and everybody, Maya, they just won the Euros, the women's Euros. So you want to continue to strengthen the women's team as well as the men's team. If you're going to take it seriously, it doesn't make sense to just have a women's team just to say we've got a women's team and then you don't help them out. No, we had that discussion the other day. Would you guys want to sell the women's team to help out with money? Because a lot of teams are doing that now as well. So I go back and forth on it personally. You can technically sell it to yourself if you want to, which is not a really big deal. I just don't like the idea of doing stuff like that. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but we did make a signing for the women's team. So big up, Rob. Welcome back, Rob. Evening United fans, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Yes, please do hit the like and subscribe button and go check out 20% off in the UVE store. Like I said, Rob, it is the return of the 9.5 shirt. It was gone. You guys wanted it. It's back. So let's dive into this Bournemouth friendly. And I want to make sure we emphasize the word friendly. Now, I'm going to say a lot of things that sound like I think 21 is coming. I don't. It is a friendly. I'm saying this mostly to remind myself as well, because I saw a lot of really good things against Bournemouth. The same thing. We saw a lot of really good things against West Ham as well. First and foremost, not least of which, Patrick Dorgu. What an absolute barnstormer of a match from Patrick Dorgu. This dude's arrived full. Goal, assist, vital interception, just kind of like the same kind of interception we saw from Cobby in the last friendly, just outside the box, won himself a free kick. He was by far our biggest threat on the night. Bournemouth had no answers for him. They couldn't deal with them whatsoever. Absolutely baller. He's got a couple things to improve in his decision making. It can be easy sometimes to get tunnel vision in those moments. Like when he won that free kick, he actually could have, in my opinion, should have played Højlund, and Højlund was definitely in the box with space. All he had to do was play it into Højlund. Højlund could have received that onto his right, let it kind of roll across his body onto his right, and then one touch onto his left. But it is what it is. It still won a free kick that Mount just barely missed. So on Højlund, though, again, another night of I thought, good movement. He did really well for his goal, did really well to peel away from his defender, get open, get on the end of that ball in the box from Dorgu, put it in the back of the net with an excellent header, open the goal scoring on the night. He looked lively again, looked effective. A lot of his touches in the link-up play, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when we won that ball back in midfield and we started transitioning his and then we were finding him, some of his link-up play, some of his one-touch was just perfect. Just little layoffs, little heel flicks here and there, just holding up the ball really well. Even if some of those flicks look accidental sometimes, which they do, they still happen, and it looked really good. He still just looks like almost a little clumsy sometimes in those moments. He struggles to get the ball out of his feet, I think. And I think that's a touch thing. When your game is so heavily focused around like power, pace, and things, when you're like, sometimes your touch will let you down. Sometimes you will hit. Lukaku did this all the time, and he was much older than Højlund. So, but I thought Højlund's had a really good preseason so far. I think he's looking very, very good. I'm not saying we don't need a striker, but you have to give credit where it's due. And again, I'm not trying to paint the whole preseason into the regular season with a big brush here, but call it like I see it. And on the night, I thought Højlund was very good. Ahmad, I thought, started a bit slow. Just wasn't getting involved in the first half. But once that second half rolled around, he was like a totally different player, Ahmad. He was linking up really well. He was dropping deep to receive the ball. He was giving and going. It was really, really good for him. His timing of the run to kind of make that late run, that like McTominay, Lampard-esque run, just to kind of see the ball kind of bouncing around and just making a good run, getting on the end of it and just putting away that shot was an absolute perfect. Really good. Debasi, big up, man. Agile Beast is back. Welcome back, Agile. Good to see you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're new, I'm sure you guys are already subscribed. Get involved in the poll as well, because we're going to go on to that in a little while too. Debasi, big up, man. Not this weekend, next weekdays. Big up, man. You guys are funny. I don't think I can see all of your comments up here, Debasi. But welcome back, Debasi. Good to see you again, my friend. So yeah, Højlund good, Dorgu awesome, Ahmad amazing. The defense I thought was really good. Yoro outstanding as well. He misplaced a couple passes. He looks like kind of like having a little bit, just a little too rushed sometimes. Like Euro, we're almost the opposite of Heaven, actually, now that I think about it. Heaven's wanting a little too much time on the ball sometimes in his own area. Euro could stand to maybe just take an extra touch, calm down a little bit, instead of just kind of force this ball, because he was giving away a couple passes here and there, but it is what it is. Just slow down, kid. Not a problem. But passing, I thought, overall in the squad was a bit sloppy in the first half. It's going to take a little bit of time for everybody to kind of get back on the same page to dial that in. That's normal. So, but I definitely thought we looked really good going into it. Ethan Williams, take a bow, son. What an absolute showing from the kid. Diego Leon, excellent as well. Did really well to shrug off that Bournemouth player ahead of Ethan Williams' goal. Went on that run, tripped over his own feet, but Williams was there to pick it up and slot it home. So technically, I guess you can call that an assist from Diego Leon, even though he absolutely tripped and fell. It looked like someone's grandpa like trying to like kick a ball or something, and just kind of his gravity's in his like momentum takes over and he starts falling. Before that, I thought Montato and Manu were doing really, really well, linking up on that right-hand side. Montato, in particular, did really well to kind of spin off of a defender, create space for himself, carry that ball forward. So I really like Montato. You guys know I love Montato. Kamison as well. I didn't think we needed to go in on Quenda in the summer. I don't really think we need to go in on someone like Roger Fernandez either. I'm not going to say no, but at the same time, we've got guys like Montato. We've got guys like Kamison. I think that we can do something. I mean, Kamison is older than Giovanni Quenda is, and I think he's doing very well. So it is what it is. I thought, again, Manu, really good. Press resistant, really good dribbling to beat a man 1v1. I thought did really, really go. Yeah, Rob, I saw that, man. Oh, I love it. I'm here for it, man. It does. If the mood's good preseason. I think that some people might have been worried that Amorim was maybe kind of coming down a little harshly, but everybody's had really good things to say. I've read the players all had individualized, diets and training regimens. They've all stuck with him really well. Obviously, a lot of them look really energetic, really lively, really physical. Some of them even look like they've trimmed up a little bit. And so I like what I'm seeing, and the attitude is just positive overall. So yeah, I did see that. Nota says, I can't believe how positive it is playing out for us signings wise and playing style. Football is so unpredictable. It really is. It really is, man. Welcome back, Nota. Good to see you again. Debate says, this time Newcastle pulled out before being rejected. Their fans were having a meltdown. Newcastle, man, we're going to talk a little bit about them because, I mean, you can try to buy your way to the big kids table as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you still get put in the other room at that cheap fold-up table with all the other kids. So, hey, recognize your spell. Know your role and shut your mouth, right? As the man once said. Man, that makes me feel old. That was a long time ago. Big up legends who know what I'm talking about when I say that. Cheeto, really good. I thought he had a really good bit of skill late in that second half. He's basically just people underestimate the power of la pausa, the pause when you're playing. When you're faced up with someone 1v1 and you have the ball. Like sometimes you don't have to always do stuff. Sometimes you don't always have to even touch. Sometimes just a stand on the ball can be enough to cause the opposition's like players, even in this case, a couple of them around you, just to pause for a second and then boom, you're going. Exactly what Cheeto did. I thought that was really excellent from him. Did split those defenders with just a little bit of a pause on the ball, got into that box. The finish let him down. It is what it is. It's what's going to happen. You take a little touch wide. But other than that, thought Heaven was good. Again, like I said the other day, his urge to want to stay on the ball and be on the ball and is just outside of his own box and take too many touches. I like that he's calm about it. I like that he backs himself. I like that he has got that composure. It's going to get him into trouble now and then, sort of like what we've seen from Maguire sometimes when he tries to play out from the back and he kind of overconfidence in his own abilities. It will cause him trouble. It is what it is. But I don't want to take that out of Heaven's game. I really like that about Heaven. And as he gets older, he'll just develop a little bit more savviness, a little bit more nous. That's the kind of stuff you learn as you get older. But I do love his composure. I do love his confidence. Heaven, really good signing. Like that's got to be one of the best signings we've made in a while. That kid. Overall, everything I saw in the final third and the build-up play, it was excellent. It was really, and this was even without Cunha and Mbuemo still. So like that's impressive. What I saw from that link up, there were moments where, and you guys are going to clip me up for this. It is what it is, but the way we were building, the way we were linking up, it kind of reminded me of that free flowing United attack from like 20 years ago. Just everybody just boom, 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 touch, touch, touch. Let's go. Like I really liked what I saw. Really good counterattack, really good fluidity, really good link up. It's going to break down now and then, but I don't have a problem with it. It just looks like Amorim's found a way to maybe combine a little bit with the strengths of some of these players with his system. You can see we're still moving that ball wide to our fullbacks, or I guess you got our wingbacks. We're inviting the press. We do like the press. That's a hallmark of Amorim's system. Invite the press, invite bodies in, exploit space, pass into the midfield, and then launch your counterattack kind of a thing. So I like what I see. And what a double save from Tom Heaton in the 64th minute, rolling back the clock, man. What an absolute legend. He's like fine wine, that guy. Sorry. Oh, no. Move down the bench. Rob says, I'm glad the Scousers didn't get Isak. They've had enough signings already. How would they even afford this kid? I don't get it, man. I really don't get it, dude. Debasi says, you're definitely not older than We're Going to Need a Bigger Boat. No, I know that movie. I never got into that movie. Sharks are one thing, like, I mean, spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, but like sharks are just one thing like I've never been scared of, for like, because it's not like, I don't know, it's not like when you go like hiking in like Montana or something, like there's wolves, there's bears, there's mountain lions. It's not like you have a choice. Like you have to go into the ocean to get attacked by a shark, and more, you're not going to get attacked really. I just am like, oh, okay, I don't want to get attacked by a shark. Just don't go to the ocean kind of thing. It's like, I don't want to get eaten by a dinosaur. Don't go back in time. Very, very simple, not hard. So, I mean, it's science there, but Agile says there's a long way back to have Højlund convinced. Oh yeah, I'm not, again, this is not me saying, Højlund's the key. We don't need to sign him. This is not me saying 21 is coming, even though 21 is coming. This is just, again, calling it like I see it on the night and giving credit where it's due. And Højlund has looked good these last couple matches. He's going to sky one now and then. He's going to miss one. He's going to fumble a touch. He's going to, misplace a pass. I've not seen any striker, any footballer that doesn't do that now and then. So we'll see. I have no problem with him being rotation if he's ready for that, if he's willing to do that. I also have no problem selling him either if we are able to do that. Problem is we sell him, we're back to square one with one striker potentially. So we'll see. Højlund's got it all to do. It is what it is. If he's still here, he's still here. We have to back him. We have to hope he improves. We have to give criticism and credit where it's due. I think that's the only thing we can do as fans. So there are some content creators who, no matter what, will just flat out do some sort of mental gymnastics to avoid giving Højlund any sort of praise for anything positive that he does. It's weird to me that people just can't. It doesn't mean you're flip-flopping. It doesn't mean you've changed your mind. It doesn't mean you were wrong. It just means, yeah, good goal. Yeah, good pass. Yeah, good hold-up play. It's not like, it doesn't need to be all or nothing. I think people make things too black or white sometimes, but it is what it is. Agile says he's looked better. The shot volume is pretty poor for him. Yeah. Well, we saw in his first season, his conversion rate was actually quite good. He was doing a lot with the very little shots that he had, Højlund. It's just last season, I don't know what happened last season. It all just kind of went to shit a little bit. And so we'll see. He never should have been the starting striker, but we'll see what happens, man. But I thought he's looked good these last couple matches, and they've both been against Premier League opposition as well. So we got to give credit where it is due. Nota says we need to keep Rasmus. If he's not doing it by January, we can move him on. Takes a bit of pressure off Sesko if we get him. Yeah, and I wouldn't anticipate, even if we sign Sesko like today, we're already seeing it with Mbuemo. Mbuemo's probably not going to play the next friendly or anything. He's already missed this one. And we've seen some managers, especially these tactical managers, especially the managers who are sticklers for like fitness and stuff. We saw it with Ten Hag as well. Like they're going to automatically put in this whole like couple week kind of period, and just that for some, I don't know if it's an actual data driven thing or if it's just the manager's kind of ego. Like, well, nobody could come in and handle my system or my tactics this quickly, so they need time. Like, I don't know. We'll see what Amorim does, but we'll see. That's assuming Sesko does get here. Rob says, I like Højlund. He's still developing. Let him have a full season under Amorim. Plus, we'd lose money if we sold him now. Sesko needs competition. Yeah, I have nothing against competition. It's getting to a point with me sometimes where there's an aspect of it where I'm all for giving players time. You guys know that. I backed Højlund to the hilt for the longest time. I'm at a point where I'm not like, he needs to go. I'm mad if he stays. I'm at a point where, like, if we sell him, cool. If he stays and he rotates, cool. But he can't be the main guy right now. I'm at a place now where I'm like, we can't afford to keep waiting around to see if these players are going to develop. That's why I'm not a fan of only signing young players. Like, I'm glad Cunha, I'm glad Mbeumo. They're older. They're 26. I like that balance. We don't need to worry about that. We can't do like an Arsenal or like a Chelsea and just wait for everybody to develop and see if they're going to work out or not. We can't do that. It'll set us back too long. We need a healthy mix. So I'm all for getting him time. He just rotate. It is what it is. The best player will play. So Lucky, welcome back. Newcastle have not pulled out. Yeah, we're going to talk about the transfer stuff. We're just wrapping up a little bit of the Bournemouth friendly. So make sure you get your thoughts on that friendly. Debasi says he's okay with Rasmus staying. Yeah, so we've got Rasmus, Cheeto, Xerxes, potentially a new striker as well. We're going to talk about here in 1 second. That's a lot. Cheeto maybe go on loan. Xerxes, you've got 2 10s now in Mbeumo Cunha. Amon might probably get some time as a 10 as well. Mount in there as well. We've got a lot of players. I think people are kind of underestimating just how many players we have in the squad right now. I'm not saying all of them are quality. I'm not saying all of them should stay, but we have a lot of players. We've got a lot of fullbacks, a lot of center backs, a lot of midfielders, a lot of 10s now. We don't have a whole lot of strikers. I will say that, but we've got a lot of players. We can't just keep bringing players. You're only allowed a certain amount on your wage bill. It's only allowed to take up a certain percentage. So we have to find ways to get rid of some of these players, unfortunately. So, but big up, Lucky. Good to see you again. Rob says, can we win the series? Poor Everton next. I didn't realize it was like they were making it like a whole thing. Like it's got like a table and shit. I'm like, what is this? They're calling it because they're calling it Premier League Summer Series. I just thought that was just their shit way of making it more appealing and catchy and without calling it a friendly, because it's a friendly, let's be honest. But they've got like a table. We're in like some sort of group. It's only like 4 teams in the group, but it's just it's very weird. Are we even top of that? I don't even know how that works. Somebody let me know. Debasi wants Cheeto to go to Wrexham. I just saw Wrexham sign Connor Cody, which kind of came out of nowhere. We know that they tried to sign Christian Eriksen last week, so I didn't realize they got Connor Cody. That's a big swoop for them. They really need to do. It could have been kind of one too many steps up for them in such short period of time. Wrexham, I don't know if they can hang in the championship. It's about quality of players at that point, because it is a big ask. Because now you're playing Premier League teams, really teams that have been in the Premier League recently, and so that's a big ask. We'll see what happens, though. Of course, we'll all be tuning in to welcome the Wrexham doc next season. Let me just get this prepped up. There we go. Agile says Newcastle's out of the race. It's a laugh to see some of the Toon fans. Yeah, the cognitive dissonance is going to be strong with these guys too, man. It's just, well, we didn't want him. Well, he was too much. The wages were too high. The price was too high. So that's cool. If you guys want to pay that, United, go for it. Now, the cognitive dissonance is coming out real thick, these players. So Rob says only allowed a certain amount of players. I think it's the certain amount. Yeah, you are. You can only name a certain number of your squad, but I think you've got like a budget allocation for wages as well in terms of PSR and whatnot. But big up, Raja. Good to see you again. Rob says even BBC showing the series table. Yeah, if United weren't in it, they wouldn't care. But United are in it, so they're going to put it. So Premier League 200. Welcome, new face. Welcome to the channel, guys. Make sure you're subscribing if you're new. I still don't believe we get Sesko because of the price tag. We don't have money. Well, we seem to have. The reports were yesterday. Remember, we're going to talk a little bit about this. Is that the whole thing was if Sesko wants to join, we've told Leipzig that we want to take him. So I'll put it up on the screen while we're talking about it. That's what the whole thing is. And so it's coming from a lot of places right now. I'm starting to lose a little faith in Romano these days. It's not that I think he's full of it. It's just he's using us a little bit to get views and clicks a lot. He'll mention us in his thumbnails or in his titles, and we won't really actually there won't be anything really to talk about. He'll save anything United related till the very end of the video, so you have to basically watch the whole thing to get to it. Like, it's starting to feel a little bit like he knows where his paycheck's coming from, and it's talking about United kind of thing. So Darkro, big up, man. Darko says, when Newcastle be treated the same way had Todd Boehly been their owner. Well, if Todd Boehly had spent at Newcastle like he spent at Chelsea, I'm sure we would. I can't believe Newcastle are literally the richest club, and they just don't want to like open their checkbooks to do anything. I mean, we'll see, man. Reportedly, they're trying to keep Isak, but it's interesting. But big up, Darko. Good to see you again, man. Debasi says, we have a lot of money. Don't feed into the media. We don't have a ton of money. I will say that, but we don't have any of that Liverpool money that apparently they've been floating around, or that City money. But I think we do have a little bit more than maybe we were led to believe initially. But what is going on? Aja says Bournemouth is on 3 points, United is on 6. So there is a weird little table. That's so weird to me. They really try, don't they, to try to make it like between the Club World Cup and now this Premier League Summer Series nonsense. They really try to make people interested. It's so funny. We'd have to lose by a big goal margin, and Bournemouth would have to win, maybe West Ham. So interesting. So if we just get a draw, is that it? We just win the whole thing, basically. Is that what you're saying? Oh no, Justin. Big up, Justin. How you doing, man? Oh yeah, dude. It's been a long week, man. I'm like running on no sleep. I know Bill had texted me last night. And I was already out, dude. I was done. I'm running on like a combined like 10 hours of sleep in the last 3 nights. So awesome. I need to get some more coffee. But big up, Justin. I'll call you back in a little while. Rob says Everton have made a few signings but lost around 12 players. Who did Everton lose? Trying to think. Let's go through this. If they're not careful, they could lose in Ndiaye. He's probably like their best player at the moment. Calvert-Lewin they let go for free. Who else at Everton? I don't really follow Everton that highly, so I don't really know. But Debasi says, man has his own intro. Justin always, and if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know how Justin, why Justin gets his own little intro. So let's see. I know we get a little bit of money from the summer series, right? We get like 7 million, so that helps. I mean, it's like Sesko add-ons money, or add-ons as Fabrizio would say, but it's not a lot. I mean, to me, that could go towards someone like a Lennon Miller. You could literally just pay Lennon Miller. You could buy him outright for $7.5 million likely. So, but Sesko, obviously we got a little bit of news here from Romano. Like I said, United have informed RB Leipzig that they are prepared to send a formal bid for Benjamin Sesko if the player accepts the destination, if he wants to join us. Like I said, it's not like we haven't had enough Romano updates on Sesko. This is becoming the new Victor Gyökeres saga. Romano also adds that Sesko is open to a move to United even without European football. So if we're using Fabrizio Romano logic here, Romanics, Sesko is open to joining United. We have informed Leipzig that we'll make an offer if he wants to join United. So does that mean that we're making an offer? If Sesko wants to join us without European football, really it might be what comes down to obviously the fee and then the wages. I don't know what he's on right now. What is Sesko on right now, guys? Let me check and see. Sesko is around 93,000 pounds a week, according to the interwebs here. So not a lot. You probably have to bring that up to like 150 or something if he's going to come to United. Christopher Mickle claims that Ineos have greenlit the Sesko deal already. So it could be a matter of time. Obviously, I put in the poll, will we get a Sesko to United? Here we go this weekend. 68% of you so far say yes, we will. So I'm going to hold you to that. If we don't, I'm coming for everybody. If we do green light this transfer, if we do get this over the line, I just hope it doesn't completely kill our budget, because we do need help in midfield. We do need someone in there with a little bit of control, composure, someone who's got a little bit of positional discipline, someone who's got some physicality, someone who can pick a pass. It's a lot of boxes that need ticking, but it just is what it is. You can find that in players. Morten Hillman ticks pretty much all those boxes. There are many other midfielders out there. We talked about Lucien Agume the other day, who could be going back to Inter because Sevilla can't afford to do that loan. I didn't even check today if they did that. I think today was the deadline, so we'll have to check and see. But I don't want it to kill our budget, the Sesko thing, because we do need more help, and I don't want it to go with, like, as good as Mbeumo and Cunha are, and as maybe good as Sesko could be someday. We do need midfield help. Collier could be going on loan. Casemiro's probably leaving in a year. Mainu can't start week in, week out. He's just not there yet. Bruno, you can technically say Bruno is being played out of position. That leaves Ugarte, who has looked good. He does have the legs, the physicality, the mentality. He needs to add a couple strings to the bow in terms of ball progression, and I feel more comfortable with him. But we need some help. So, but we'll see. If Sesko arrives, some of us were wondering what that means for Højlund's future in United. Sure, you guys were talking about Højlund a little bit earlier. There were reports that we talked about the other day that RB Leipzig do like Højlund. There was some claims that a swap was even possible. I don't know how that's going to work. But after the friendly the other night, Højlund was again adamant. He likes competition. He wants to stay. He'll be here next year. Like, it doesn't seem like he's ready to go anywhere. So we'll see here. Agile's giving me some updates. Yeah, I had no idea this was like a weird group stage kind of a situation, this bullshit Premier League summer series. Head-to-head not goal difference, and United have won it. Interesting. We might be Everton. Everton are some of these kind of team that we do struggle against. Just, we still look a little vulnerable sometimes to crosses and balls into the box. It seems like when teams are able to get to the byline, or when no one really is, like, Dallow's still not putting pressure on the wide players. They're still getting to deliver ball in the box at will. Those kind of situations, we do look vulnerable. People are missing the headers. People are not jumping. Nobody's picking up that flash ball. We got away with a couple of those situations in these last couple friendlies, just by the sheer fact of Evan Islin missing something, or the ball being just a little overhit or underhit. Like, we still look vulnerable in that regard. We need to put more pressure on those wide players. And somebody, like, we've got three center backs. There's no reason a ball should make it into the box like that with three center backs and a goalkeeper in there. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Somehow we still look vulnerable in that situation, but we'll see what happens there. Nota says, didn't Sesko follow United on Instagram last night, or is that a rumor? I mean, he has. I don't know if that means, I don't know how Instagram works. So he's following United. I don't know when that happened. He could have been doing that for a while. He's following a lot of people. So I don't know how you tell when people start following or not. I don't have Instagram. I never have. So I really don't know how it works. So somebody better let me know. I'm the old guy. I don't know how technology works. Somebody help me work this. Is that an internet? Is that an internet nota? I don't know. Is that a TikTok? Let me know what that means. I don't know. Danny, big up, just popping and hit the like button. Busy working. Well, hey man, better working than not working, right? I guess it depends on the weather, but glad to see you up and about, man. Hope the back is doing well. And thanks for stopping in, though, man. Feel free to jump in whenever you get a second from work and you want to procrastinate. You've already seen we infected Dylan by helping him procrastinate from doing his work for his grad school stuff. So he jumped on impromptu kickabout the other day. I'm here for it. I'm here to help people distract and procrastinate. So we call that a procrastinate or a distractionate. This freaking bug. It's still the same bug that was in here yesterday. Freaking little gnat. As soon as I'm done here, I'm destroying this thing. I'm destroy the studio trying to find it. Premier League 20 says, I'm tired of Casemiro passing random ball. Every ball he gets. Yeah, we've said that a couple of times on the channel throughout the last year, Premier League 200. Casemiro, you can almost play like a checklist or a bingo with Casemiro on the kind of things he does in matches. So get a yellow for no contact, is you're going to get that on Casemiro. Getting a header on the end of a free kick in the box, that's something you're going to get Casemiro. But you're also going to get the Casemiro pull-out challenge where he'll go in and then he'll go like this and then probably still get a yellow. You're going to get the 2-foot slide tackle from Casemiro. That is always going to happen. And you're going to get the no-look cross midfield ball from him that just always goes to the option. You're going to get at least one of those every match. So you can make a little bingo board game out of this, but you will get all that from Casemiro. But he looks trimmer. He looks good. We know that Casemiro can have a role if he's willing to fight and rotate and stuff. Obviously, he's not going to turn down 300 and some odd K a week. So it is what it is. Devasi says, Danny busy scouting some players. Yeah, he's out there working. Danny's out in Argentina or something. I've got a couple scouting reports for you guys today. I've got 4 lined up, but only 2 today. So I've got, and Danny, when the next stream we do, we've got a young defensive midfielder that you might have heard about. So be sure to come back for that one, but it's not today. Today we've got a pair of Eintracht Frankfurt young players that we'll talk about, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So you got a 2 for today. Notas says same. Don't know anything about Instagram. Yeah, I have no idea how Instagram works. I literally don't. MUFC Bjorn, welcome. Hey guys. Hey Sean. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Big up. Evening, Gary. Hope you're doing well, Gary. Good to see you again, my friend. You guys, make sure you like. And guys, remember, it's 20% off in the UVE store for the next couple days. And it's also the return of the 9.5 shirt. That is brand new back in the shop now. It wasn't there. I took it off. Now it's back. So go get your Crank It Up to 9.5 shirts in the UVE store when you get a check-in. Plus, you got the new and boom shirt, the OG green and gold as well, the class of 92 shirt that is I actually, just like I said, bought the class of 92 shirt in a hoodie. So I'll wear that when it gets here as well. So big up, Jarvis. Good to see you, Jarvis. Hope you're doing well, man. So again, we don't know what's going to happen with Højlund. He seems like he's happy to rotate. He said he likes that kind of challenge. He likes that competition. We'll see. Just like Luke Shaw talking the other day about all these changes and stuff. It's easy to do this, but like I said, if you couldn't use your words, how am I going to know that you mean what you say? It's, do your talking on the pitch. Let's see what happens. Højlund, are you going to throw a fit if you don't start for a couple matches? Are you going to throw a fit if you just use as a substitute for 20 minutes here and there? Or are you going to knuckle down? You're going to work hard. You're going to improve, and you're going to try to challenge and get that spot back. We'll see how it goes. It could go either one of 2 ways, man. He could rotate. He could come in. He could be an effective. I mean, we've seen throughout the years, United have very effectively used strikers, multiple strikers. And there were times we had 4 top tier strikers in the team at once, and they all got minutes. This bug is about to get fucked up. I'm serious. So we'll see if that's the case with Højlund and or Sesko shows up. But Natty Clark, big up. Good to see you. Hope you guys are doing well. Moving on. I was saying a lot. Like I said, you guys, not a whole lot of sleep this week with this dog getting out of surgery on Tuesday morning. So if I yawn, if I say a lot of if I space out for a hot second, it's okay. If I pass out, somebody, hit me as well. So big up, you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Debasi says, Sesko for Premier League, Rasmus for Carabao, FA. And I have no problem. Somebody's going to need to rotate here and there for fitness. Somebody might pick up an injury and stuff. It's going to happen. Somebody might even need to be rested intentionally. So whatever your starting choice is, okay, we've got a big match against Arsenal this weekend. Tomorrow we're playing, I don't know, Sunderland. Rasmus, you're starting against Sunderland. Sesko's going to come on for the last 20 minutes to get those legs going, and then Sesko's going to start. That's how you work those kind of things. Fergie used to do that all the time. He would go tell one of these Nevilles, like, I've got the match for you. It's not, this is the match. And they're doing the math like, wait a minute, that's like a month away. And it's like, sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes it's about knowing what player is going to respond like well to that by getting angry, by pushing themselves. Some players do respond well to that, and that they may not respond well emotionally, but it does usually, we'll see an improvement. So it's going to be interesting. Sanjay, big up Sanjay. Sanjay caught it live too. Look at that. He's having a karaoke party. Oh no. That's one thing you never get me to do is karaoke. I like singing. I'm not going to do karaoke. I don't like speaking and doing that kind of stuff in front of a large group of people. So we're not doing that. Not enough alcohol in the world. So you guys remember to get involved in that poll. Sesko, will we get a here we go by the weekend? 78% of you are still saying yes. So we'll keep an eye on that. Moving on. Let me get this off the screen here. So David Ornstein reported this morning that Newcastle, and you guys have already talked about this a little bit, Newcastle have rejected a bid from Liverpool for Alexander Isak. Initial approach informal. Now the offer is turned down. Newcastle suggested a new deal to Isak with 2026 release clause. And apparently Isak's teammates are pushing him to stay, but he still wants to move. Ornstein claims that the offer from Liverpool was north of 100 million. He mentioned 120 million in his article for the Athletic or the New York Times, whatever you want to call it. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. 200 million in one summer for 2 strikers is just asinine money. It's just ridiculous. That doesn't even count the Frimpong and the Kirkes and the Berts as well. That's literally pushing like almost 400 million in transfer fees for one summer. When you break all that down, that's what 350, 360 million. That's insane. Not the like Isak is probably the one player that they've paid for that is probably worth what they're paying for. Wirtz, no, they've probably like doubled overpaid for Ekitike and Wirtz combined. Like that's insane. Isak is class. But the amount of money that Liverpool spent so far is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that goes past what Chelsea have been doing. That looks a lot worse to me even than City signing like 8 players in the last 6-7 months. Like that's insane. Now, Ben Jacobs claims that Liverpool don't plan to return with a better offer, apparently due largely to the nature of Newcastle's rebuttal. What the fuck does that mean? It's not what you said, it's how you said it, Newcastle. So funny. I wish I could have been there if that's the case, just to see Newcastle tell Liverpool to fuck off. Yes, I am that tribal. I am that petty. I don't even care. You guys know when it comes to Liverpool, I'm a petty little bitch. I don't even care. And I'm just completely unapologetic about it. I think that football needs a bit of that. We need to keep that banter alive. I told you the first trip that Justin and I went on a couple of years back, we ran into some people around the Trinity statue and they wanted us to take their photo. They were from Germany. And when we went to go take their photo, I had their phone and they held up a Leeds United flag. And I was like, nope, I'm not taking the photo. I just straight up refused. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I don't care if we just had a pleasant 5-minute conversation. I'm not doing it. Not having that at all. Agile says, goal should be to have Sesko United player by Wednesday. All right. Big up, big up. All right. We'll hold you to that. If he's not here, we all know who to come and blame. Agile. Looking at you. Jomo, welcome. We play Everton tomorrow. I think is it tomorrow or is it Sunday? I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's Sunday. Because we just played a couple, was it 2 days ago? The stuff's blowing. Yeah, it's Sunday. We play 5 p.m. kickoff for me. Today's Friday, right? All right. Someone let me know. If today's Saturday, then I completely missed a huge important event this morning. Kerry says, Newcastle have been thoroughly embarrassed in this window. Know your place, losers. That's what I said earlier, man. Like they thought they could get some rich owners and buy their way to the big kids table. And they really they got ushered into that other room where that little folding table is and the folding chairs and said, there you go. Have a sit next to the high chair, guys. Rob says, seems a few teams not doing much this transfer window. It's worth a bet that one of the promoted teams will stay up. I think Bournemouth are going to struggle because they could be, I read that they could be losing, who's the other center back? The other guy with the longer hair, forget his name now, Rimdani or something like that. They could be losing him to PSG. He looks an absolute baller. They already lost Dean House into Real Madrid. He was an absolute baller. So their center back could be completely gutted. They lost Kirkes. They replaced him with Truffert. Truffert is a good left back, but he's new. He's not Kirkes. Evan Nielsen is very, very hit or miss, as we've seen. Like he's either going to look really good or he's not, and it just is what it is. And I just don't think overall Bournemouth squad is good enough. I think that Areola was the key for them last season, and he had a couple of really good players. I just don't know if they can handle. So I would look out for Bournemouth, and I would definitely look out for Brentford if they don't manage to replace Mbeumo adequately, because they're struggling. They could lose Wissa as well. Now they did bring in I forget who they bring in now, but I think they've got an inexperienced coach now, Thomas Frank, going to Spurs. I don't even think Brentford's new manager has ever even been a first team manager, if I remember correctly. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Brentford could struggle. I think Bournemouth could struggle, and we'll see what happens though. But yeah, Nota says you can never be too petty when it comes to the pool. Yeah, I've got my bottle of Scouse tears around here somewhere. We'll save that for the season. I was chugging that hard when we knocked him out of the FA Cup a few years ago. Rob says apparently the crying Geordie from TalkSport was the one who answered Liverpool's call to bid for Isaac. Oh, that's what Zabarni. That's his name. That's his name. I knew it was something with a knee at the end. PSG, yeah, man. So PSG, we know that they're definitely building something over there. This is no longer the PSG of let's just sign this guy and Messi and Neymar and stuff. This is we're building and we're being selective. But yes, these players are younger. Yes, some of them are, but they're good. Like they're putting together. What Luis Enrique and PSG are doing right now is very, very good. The problem is that at the end of the day, they're still PSG. So it's just you play in a farmers league. I'm sorry, you just do. Yeah, Chevalier. I don't know what's going on with Donnarumma. We'll talk a little bit about that at some point as well. But I posted earlier, I don't know if you guys saw, putting Donnarumma's numbers up against Onana's numbers from the last year. And I'll let you guys make of that what you will. You'll find it in the community post section of the channel. I tweeted it as well. I'm not sold on Donnarumma, but it is what it is. Rob says Brentford's new manager was a set piece coach. Frank took the decent staff within the Spurs. Yeah, I worry for Brentford. They've had this Moneyball thing for a while, but it does kind of the bubble does burst on teams like that after a while. We've seen what happened with Southampton. You can't just only always be like this selling club, like this whole, like Brentford have literally sold like their best attackers for the last several years. Watkins, Tony, Mbeumo now. You can't, over after a certain amount of time, you have to turn around and reinvest in the squad a little bit in an effort to actually improve in terms of just table finishing and stuff. You can't just constantly say, well, we make a lot of money because we sell players and we're sitting in 10th every year, so that's cool. Like, I get it. You're a smaller club. It is what it is. But at some point, like, it will start to go back. There will be diminishing returns and you will need to actually show a little bit more ambition. And so, I mean, I don't blame Thomas Frank for leaving Step Up. We'll see what happens with them. But Debasi says Donometric eats Onana. Well, technically they don't. If you look at him, Onana is the red one, and he literally surrounds Donnarumma's numbers. So Rob says, I can't see us signing Donnarumma. He's not quite. Yeah, and I feel the same way. I think half of this is agent talk, and I just don't think Donnarumma, at least last year, he did not have a good year last year at all. I think maybe that to me has got like something like Saudi written all over it personally, but we'll see. I just don't. He wouldn't be my first choice. You guys know I would have gone for Lunin. I would still take Senny Lamens if we're going to be stuck with Onana, but let's see. Yeah, he's going to be on big wages. I think that's the big reason why it's to me why this feels like, because this isn't the first time we've heard this. We've heard of this. We were linked to him after PSG won the Champions League, and to me that all it felt like at the time was we won Champions League. Donnarumma was one of the lowest earners. He wants more money. We're going to link United. It had Sergio Ramos vibes all over it, like back in 2014, 2015. So, Tactical Devil, son, are you free Sunday night at 9 UK time? I think that's 5 p.m. Stu still away. I can be, Jarvis. I can absolutely be. You guys think I should jump on Jarvis' show again? Yeah, man. I think we can make that happen. Let me check my wife right now, just with the dog getting out of surgery. It's just going to depend on how she's doing, because I think my wife was talking about maybe going doing something. So if she's gone, I really can't leave the dog on her own. So it's just going to depend on timing. But I will check. You send me a message on Twitter, Jarvis. I'd love to. It's really just there's a lot going on at the moment, so it's really just going to depend on what the scheduling is. But send me a message on Twitter, and I will tentatively say yes. I just don't know for sure. Ow, fuck. So on strikers though. Craig Hope claims that Newcastle could make a move for Ollie Watkins. I don't know if you guys saw that, because it looks like Sesko, choosing United over Newcastle as two other players. No European football, and are still coming to Old Trafford. Cunha and Mbeumo, potentially Sesko. I mean, it is what it is, man. Who's that team we call United? Oh, wait. Boom. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Devices says, Sean, can you see Onana versus Lamens metrics? We put those on the screen a couple weeks ago when the Lamens stuff was popping up. So you'll have to go check that. What I will tell you at the top of my head, I know Lamens has got one of the best save percentages in the league last season. It was like 80 some odd. It was literally like top 2%. Crosses claimed was literally like top percent as well. Like the guy just controls his box, makes saves. And that's really all I need from a keeper, honestly. Send me a message, man. And then I'll let you know. I'll have to check with my wife and see what time she's got stuff going on. Hopefully, she's going to do stuff earlier in the day. So, but yeah, Watkins, we were linked. He could be going to Newcastle. Maybe Newcastle definitely need to get somebody else. I think that it's if Isak doesn't leave now, he'll probably leave in the summer. And so you kind of have to start planning for that. And we saw Callum Wilson, I think, left for free as well. So they do need a little help, if nothing else, for depth. But without the Isak money coming in, have they sold anybody else, Newcastle? I'm trying to think. I don't know. So, they bought Elanga. That's right. I think that Murphy left for free as well, if I remember. This is crazy. Random striker news. I don't know if you guys saw this. Remember that Porto striker, Samu? Apparently, so remember I put him in my young striker video a couple weeks back. You guys can go check out those videos if you haven't yet watched them. The Guardian reports that Porto want just 55 million for Samu. Villa have now asked about him. So again, we've got Sesko potentially choosing United over Newcastle. Newcastle pivoting to Watkins. Villa potentially asking about Samu as well. I told you guys a couple weeks ago, when one striker finally moves of the Osimhen, Gyökeres, whatever, it was going to start a domino effect. And now we're kind of starting to see that. And so Samu, 55 million though. So Samu, Sesko. Samu is going to cost you a little bit less than Sesko. I'm still not keen on paying that much for Sesko. I think that's absolutely ridiculous personally. But Samu, again, very young. I'd still hesitate to spend that much on him. That's a lot to spend for a kid with one good season so far in the Portuguese league. He basically replaced Evan Nilsson. If you guys remember, Evan Nilsson was at Porto, and Evan Nilsson looked great when he was at Porto, but even Evan Nilsson is struggling a little bit, and Samu is very young. I think Samu is potentially more adapted, like suited to the Premier League, just the physicality and the speed that he's got. I think he would suit the Premier League a lot better than Evan Nilsson. Evan Nilsson is definitely an old school traditional number 9, like a Lewandowski style. I just don't know if he's got the physicality quite yet. So Debas says, oh, he's Benny Sesko doing headers in the Tesco, scoring streamers. What a blesco. Manchester's red, and so is he. I like that. Did you just make that up? If you just made that up, dude, golf clap. Debas, golf clap if you made that up. That's legit. I was at Loaded Dice several months ago. We're trying to come up with songs for some of the players. So we've got like the I'm Xerxes and I Know It song, but then I came up, I didn't come up with the song, but I turned Ugarte into Ugarte be bad, Ugarte be bold, Ugarte be what, like that song, whatever that song is. You guys remember that from a long time ago if you're old enough. And then it was a blast. This is what you do when you hang out with people and watch matches. Rob would take Samu over Sesko. I would definitely take Samu over Sesko if you just like all things being equal. I just don't want to pay that much. Maybe I'm just cheap. Maybe I need to recalibrate the amount I'm willing to spend on strikers, because every time we're linked to one, I'm like, that's too much money. That's too much money. Watkins, I don't want to spend that much. Let's just go too much. I like Samu a lot. I think he's a really good striker. He to me would be one more I would not want to lose. Similar to the Sen Lamens. Like I don't want to lose out on him. I think he could be good. Agile says, I mentioned Samu quite a lot, but we've not been linked to him though. Yeah, he could be going to Villa, but I think we were linked in mid-season. And remember, I featured him in my video. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about Samu and why Rob loves him, go check out that Young Strikers video from last week. He's in there along with like 10 other young strikers. And then there's that other striker video I did with like first-team strikers that no one's talking about. Go check that one out as well. Agile says, I thought he had an 85 million release clause. Again, this is just coming from The Guardian that say Porto want just 55 million for him. Most of the time, release clauses are put in there just to have them. But like we've seen people go for less than that. I think who was the kid? Ferran Torres had a big release clause. Went to City for like 20 some odd million. Like it's insane. So Debasi said Tesco will sponsor Manchester United. Dude, if they don't, why people don't diss on Tesco? Tesco's legit, man. You can get everything at Tesco. You can go into the cafe and get breakfast. You can go get your groceries and go get my bag of McCoy's sweet teriyaki chicken or sweet Thai chicken chips or crisps. And I left my phone charger at home, so I was able to replace it there. So you can get everything there. This is your one-stop shop. I don't quite understand the bag system, the shopping bag system. Somebody can explain that to me in the chat so I'm better prepared. I still don't quite get that. People were giving me weird looks when I was like getting a bag. I don't know if I was supposed to pay for it or not. I think they assume I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. They just clearly overestimate me. But it was very confusing. But the bag became a garbage bag for the rest of the week. So somebody let me know in the chat how the bag system works at Tesco. I guess I could just Google it. So a big task for Ineos. We're moving on. Sorry. We're pivoting here, moving on from striker talk. You guys make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. Remember, 20% off in the UVE store. And if you can see up in the corner, there's the code if you guys want to go on GoGoalShop. Get $5 off. If you use that code when you register, you do get $5 off your first order. They do have the home and away shirts this season, both the fan and the authentic versions as well, and they don't cost an arm and a leg. So be sure to go check that out as well. Agile says you have to pay 5p per bag. Interesting. Is that like there's like a sign for that or something? I had no idea. You should have seen Justin and I the first year went. We was like late. We'd gone there. It was after the Real Betis match. We walked to Tesco from Old Trafford because it's very close. Literally the first time I've ever been there. We just had to stop and get some snacks and stuff. We had no idea how it worked. So I don't think we got any bags, so we couldn't figure it out. We were just armful of food, like bottles of water and like some crisps and stuff. We just went a little nuts. Walking around and this is the first time, so we're like lost basically. We're like, because it's like 11 p.m. at that point. We're like, I don't remember where the hotel is. So I got it down this time. We're good. I'm a pro now. You'd think I'd lived there all my life the way I've got it down these days, aside from the bag system at Tesco. Still don't quite get that. So, and I've yet, I know you guys are going to kill me. I've yet to have sausage roll from Greg's. I've just yet to have one. So Justin and I did get sausage rolls. I think they were from somebody at the mall, but it wasn't good. It upset our stomachs. So Devos said, pay for the bag. 10p. Someone's saying 5p and someone's saying it's 10p. That's insane. Devos says recyclable plastic is it's recyclable. Interesting. See, I'm learning. You guys are helping me out. You know what else I saw for the first time last time, though, up close, was the magpie. Coolest looking bird I've ever seen. I know I've mentioned that after my trip. Dude, magpies are awesome. I wish we could have those here. So a big task for Ineos this summer, trimming the squad. Not only do we need to make room in the budget and the wage bill, but we just need to clear out some of the troublesome attitudes. We need to clear that squad out because there's just, like I pointed out, we have a lot of players. Yes, not all of them are good, or good enough, I should say, but we've got a lot of players. But we need to clear out some of these troublesome attitudes. We need to clear out some of the people who just aren't in our plans, like Malassi or Anthony. One player I expected to be gone already, though, was Alejandro Garnacho. And I don't know why that he's not here. He's young. He had a good season. Puskas Award winner, low wages. I feel like he's the kind of position a lot of Premier League clubs really look at, whether you're a Villa, whether you're a Forest. He seems like he's tailor-made to those systems, the way they play, especially Villa. He wants to stay in the Premier League. So we saw that from many outlets, but Fabrizio had this to say on him earlier today. Alejandro Garnacho remains keen on joining Chelsea, having made them his priority since January. Despite receiving offers from abroad, he is still waiting for Chelsea, who are considering making a bid later this month. Chelsea. Now, Dylan, we did the kickabout the other night. You guys go check that video out if you haven't yet. It was a good episode. A lot of you guys got really involved in that one. I had a blast. Dylan does not like the idea of selling players to Premier League rivals. It just depends on if you rate Garnacho. If we rate him highly enough to where we don't want him to go to Chelsea, then do we really want to sell him? Is it just the attitude at that point? And so it's completely subjective. It's completely your call. I don't really care either way. Like, I didn't care that much if Rashford went to Villa. It didn't really bother me at that point. Doesn't really matter. Don't really care. To me, it's just about getting what we're paying. If Chelsea are paying $55 million for Bino Gittins, if they already paid 80 some odd for Mykhailo Mudryk a couple years back, you can't come in here with like a £30 million bid for Garnacho. It's not going to happen. It's just not. So, but we're also leaving it a little late in the window, personally. So I don't know if Chelsea are going to lowball us. Should we hold out for what I think is probably a more fair offer? Maybe we can just get what we paid for Mount and we can call it even. I don't know. What would you guys say here? Let me get caught up. Oh, man. Gary says no magpies in States. If there are, Gary, they don't live in Michigan because I've literally never seen it. It's literally the coolest looking bird I've ever seen. It's like bigger. I don't know how to describe it. It's a size that I just don't see from a lot of birds here in the States. It's got that really cool long tail. It's like a blackish, bluish kind of color with the white. It's so cool looking. Rob says corned beef pasty from Greg's. I do like me some corned beef. So I'm going to have to make a point to go to Greg's when Dylan's here. I need to figure out if there's one close to the stadium. I'm going to jump on Google later on. Sausage rolls are bomb. Yeah, the one we got in the mall, it wasn't at Greg's. It was just some random cart or whatever. It was not great. It was not great. Could have been the pies. We got meat pies too from that place, and neither of them tasted that great. But Rob says $30 million to Chelsea is a no from me. Yeah, if he wants to stay in the Premier League, again, the player does have a say as well. But if he wants to stay in the Premier League, it is going to limit our options as well. Again, if you could do a straight swap, 50 million goes both ways on paper for Garnacho and Watkins, I would be open to that personally. It helps out both clubs. Again, Villa will still need a striker. They could go get Calvert-Lewin for free. They get a winger. They get Calvert-Lewin. He's not Calvert-Lewin's not Ollie Watkins, but at the same time, it's not my club. I really don't care. But I thought that would have been an option that would work for everybody, but it is what it is. Agile says Chelsea are probably liking selling Mount. Yeah, that's forever going to haunt us. He's looked good in preseason so far. Mount. It's just with Mount, it's always just been an issue of staying fit. It is what it is. If he can stay fit, awesome. I think he improves us. If he doesn't, then we just look worse. So far, he's 2 years. He's barely played. I've barely seen that 7 shirt on the pitch. He had a really good leg against Lyon. You guys remember coming on scoring that brace, including that long-range scorcher, but that's about it. That's literally all we've seen from him is that game. Dubai says, Chelsea, we will increase our players, downplay yours, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Todd Boehly, man. Hats off. I know some of you were in the chat. I've seen a couple of you over the months say, like, I would take Todd Boehly United the way he spends. I just, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too, I don't want to say I'm naive because I totally get it. Part of me likes that we're not the kind of club who's going to sell women's teams to ourselves on paper or hotels to ourselves or is state owned. I mean, I'm not trying to get political about it. I like there's a little bit of that traditional, and I get sometimes there's aspects of it that you can leave behind. There's aspects of it that you need to update. I get that. But I will say it is a point of pride that we may suck in terms of the finances, but that has more to do with the owners than anything. And our owners have been criminal. But Gary says, selling Premier League players to each other was something teams never really done, especially between top teams, becoming more like the other leagues. I mean, United have bought top-tier Premier League talent for decades. I mean, decades. If you even, like, a lot of positions. Carrick, Berbatov, Van Persie, Rooney, Ferdinand, Cantona. We bought, like, so many people from so many different. We used to do it all the time. That used to be our thing. I mean, City do it a lot too. Maybe not a ton. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Arsenal have done it a lot in recent years as well. And I don't have a problem with Bayern are probably the most famous for doing it, right? It's like if you're young, you're German, you're doing well in the Bundesliga, you're going to Bayern. It's just the way it is. They go crazy over that over there. But so we used to do it all the time. Then we kind of got away from it a little bit. And it is what it is. I think it's just about the player for me. You guys know I'm not 100% like Premier League proven is better than or worse. And I think that it's all down to the player. We've seen players come to United from other Premier League clubs and struggle. We've seen players come to United from clubs in Europe and do just well. So I don't think that it's 100% guaranteed that Premier League proven is the be all end all deciding factor personally. I mean, but some people really like it. So Ashau says, should tell Chelsea to fuck right off if it's a 30 million. That was the number. Isn't that the number we talked about the other day was the number they threw out there? Yeah, it's messed up. Yeah, I've heard that, Rob. They're clever. Don't they like collect shiny things? They'll like, isn't that something I've read? I'm trying to remember. There was one that hung out outside the window at the Airbnb when Justin and I were there. And I would just watch it and drink tea in the morning before we got up and did stuff. And I was like, it's just cool looking birds. Big up. I am Titanium. Welcome back, man. Good to see you. Stephanie, how are you doing, Stephanie? Big up. Yes. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everybody doing well. Gary says, Chelsea are and always been a banter club. Chelsea are just one of those clubs like City that I just don't really consider rivals. And I know fans of those clubs are going to be like, oh, we don't consider you rivals. It's just, they would be nothing without their owners that they had. Without the Abramovich, without the Sheikh, they wouldn't be anything. I'll give more credence to Liverpool, more credence to Arsenal, but yeah, Chelsea without Abramovich are nothing. So it is what it is, man. But big up, you guys. Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. And remember, 20% off for the next 3 days in the UVE store. And it is the return of the 9.5 shirt in the UVE store alongside the brand new Mbumo shirt. So make sure you go check that out. What are you guys saying here? I am Titanium says, I'm watching the under 6 teams play at the Milk Cup. Carrick and Rooney's sons playing. Yeah, didn't JJ Gabriel score a banger earlier today? If I remember, did I see that right? Somebody let me know. But big up, I am Titanium. Good to see you again. Debasi says, I respect Chelsea if they hand over our boy Cole Palmer. Oh, man. I would take Cole Palmer. He's a tidy player, man. He's an excellent young player. He was a little hot and cold last season. He went on a spell where he wasn't doing anything. But then again, Chelsea just kind of went on a weird spell. So, but big up, man. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Garnacho. Apparently, he's interested in Chelsea, according to Romano. Chelsea want him. I don't know what is going to happen there. The bid that we saw, or the price tag that we saw Chelsea were trying to offer the other day, was just half of really what it should be, considering what they've paid. They paid what, 80 some odd million for Mudryk, and the kid hadn't even played 24 first team appearances like in his career at that point, and they paid crazy money for him. And there's no way you can anticipate the whole doping thing. What it is, but on its face, the actual transfer itself, what they paid for the player with that little experience is just completely asinine. I cannot believe that. It's absolutely. Yeah, I saw that. I was going to mention that later on, Gary. He scored, JJ Gabriel, man. Give that kid whatever he wants. Tell him the number 7 shirt is waiting for him when he gets here. That kid's a star. If we can keep him from like going to Barcelona or something, we will have an excellent young player. That kid could jump into the first team in a couple of years easily. Not starting 11 necessarily, but he could definitely. He's already playing for the U16s. Remember, there was a weekend last season where he played in the U16s one night. Literally the very next day, turned around and played for the under 18s. He's an absolute baller. So, all right, let's jump on to some scouting reports, shall we? You guys are in for that. Like I said, I've got 2 Eintracht Frankfurt players to talk to you about today. So, got you guys get a little 2 for today, because I was on a little bit of a Eintracht Frankfurt tear, because there was a guy, the director of football, I think, from Eintracht Frankfurt was on Sirius XM earlier today. So it's interesting to hear what he had to say, but we've got to cut. Yeah, dude, the kid is special, Gary. JJ Gary. If you guys don't watch the Academy, if you get MUTV, watch you guys know we love the Academy here on the channel. We've done some watch alongs for the Academy matches. Justin and I went to an FA Youth Cup match when we were there in January when we were in Manchester. It's a blast. This Academy is absolutely stacked right now. The best I've seen it for a couple decades. So, all right. Say hello to Jean Mateo Bahoya. Like I said, plays for Eintracht Frankfurt. He could play pretty much anywhere behind the striker. Left wing, he can play as a 10. He can play on the right wing as well. Just 20 years old, 5'11". Excellent attacker. He's very, very quick, very good on the ball. Confident, backs himself. He's good with the ball at his feet. Excellent whipped in cross into the box. He's kind of like a little bit of Ashley Young, where he cuts in and shoots off his right or puts a cross in on his right. Good movement. And when I say movement, you guys know it's not about pace. It's about positioning, making space for yourself, knowing where to be in certain situations. That's what I mean by movement. And he's flair, and he puts in a shift off the ball. 3 goals, 4 assists in all comps last year. As a 19-year-old in his first full season at the top level is very impressive. 5 goals, 2 assists in 21 matches at his final season at Angers in the Ligue 2, if I remember correctly. Used mainly as a sub. Obviously, he's still very young. But when Omar Marmoush made the switch to Man City in January, Bahoya started getting more regular minutes. He plays a lot like Sancho used to play at Dortmund. Very good on the ball, very good on that left-hand side, very quick, agile. He's rapid. Fastest sprint in the Bundesliga last year, 37.16 kilometers an hour. The guy is rapid. Puts in a shift off the ball, like I said. Here, I'll show you a little bit about what he's all about, sir. So gets a lot of his touches on that left-hand side. Does take the corners up there as well. So again, when you're coming out as a sub, your heat map's not going to look as great because he's young, but good numbers here. He wins a lot of aerial duels, as you can see. Like I said, puts in a shift off the ball, 79 percentile for defensive actions, 64 percentile for chances created is very good from a youngster. His numbers down here, again, take it with a grain of salt. He's young. He's not getting many starts because he just wasn't. Is what you're going to do. But the take-ons and, again, the defensive shift that he puts in for wingers is very, very, very good. What I like to see from wide players in this system is getting up and down the pitch, making those plays, and then able to beat your man. You guys know I love it when you can beat a man 1v1. Unlike we've seen from our wingers recently, Bahoya prefers to put in an in-swinging cross rather than cut inside and shoot. So he has a little bit of a throwback in that regard. Very good, though, too, at underlaps and overlaps, and then that link-up play in those wide areas in the channels. He makes really good, dangerous runs to get into good positions, like I said. Very advanced movement for someone so young. I think he'd be better in a quick transition system where his pace and his creativity and that link-up can be utilized more freely. But he's young. He's got a little bit more to prove in terms of getting involved in the goals and getting that end product down. But he is one of Eintracht Frankfurt's most promising young attackers. already showing flashes of potential, especially the dribbling and the crossing. He's contracted until 2029. Loads of clubs looking out at him. A lot of Premier League clubs tried to get him on loan in January. It didn't happen. They are probably banking on a huge fee. Eintracht, they only paid about $8.5 million for him. They're probably looking to maybe triple that in another year's time, and I think they could. The kid is an absolute beast. Titanium says, "Oh my God, what a goal! You watching the JJ Gabriel goal?" Yeah, the kid's got something, don't he? He's more like a faster, more physical Sancho. Dortmund Sancho. Just keep that in mind. But very, very good. He's a very good young player. So I like him a lot. Frankfurt, I've always had a little bit of eye on Frankfurt. They've got a lot of interesting talent coming. I really liked Evan Ndika when he was there a couple of years back, and they were doing really, really well. So Jean-Mateo Bohoya, add him to your list, along with this other guy, a teammate of his, Namdi Collins, center back / right back, 21-year-old, 6'3", modern ball carrying defender. He's just a straight up athlete, fast, powerful, good in the air. Good tackling, good reading of the game. He's got a really good footballing IQ, like we've said about Collier a couple times. Just knows where to be, and he reads the situation really well. And he's a leader too. And even as a defender, he's doing his job. I like him. Joined Dortmund a long time ago from his local club, Fortuna Dusseldorf. He was born in Dusseldorf, so he was at Dortmund in 2016. He was already in Dortmund's under-19 squad when he was 16. Chelsea reportedly wanted him back then. Again, modern center back. Physical, mobile, anticipation, but he also looks for the pass as well. As you can see, when I say modern center back, he's good at carrying the ball out of defense and progressing it up the pitch. He's a ball-playing center back. Similar to like Jules Kounde and what he did at Barcelona. Now, Kounde is not a right back. Kounde is a center back. He's playing a right back at Barcelona, but this is like what you're going to see from this kid. In a back three system, he can play in the right third. He can play as a right back. He has done that at times. He's a big guy, physical, very quick though, very pacey for his size, which is why he is so effective at carrying the ball up the pitch. He's got really good recovery pace. I've even seen him play right wing back before as well, so he can do a little bit of everything on that right hand side. I would have put passing range, but he tries a lot of passes. But sometimes those passes are a little bit. It's kind of like what we've seen from Euro once or twice in this preseason. Go for that pass, but it's just not quite there. But I do like the confidence. So here's some of his numbers. Again, progressive carries, top 3%, take-ons, top 5%, getting into those good positions to receive the ball, i.e. building out from the back, getting into advanced positions, top 1%, tackles, top 8%. The kid is a modern center back in every way, shape, or form. He can struggle against pacey attackers like we've seen from Mazraoui at times, but that's pretty normal for center backs. You're always going to struggle a little bit, but he's also very young, and so I do see this not being an issue for him in the future as he just learns how to anticipate more in those situations, if that makes sense. I think he'd be an excellent young defender in a back three system, wink, wink, or a team that just plays a higher line, maybe like Spurs used to under Ange. I don't know how they're going to do it under Thomas Frank. Because he's got that recovery pace, so he won't leave his team too vulnerable, and he can carry the ball up the pitch. As you can see, those take-ons and those carries are excellent for center backs, literally elite. He captained Dortmund's under-19 side when he was there, where he was demonstrating the composure, the calmness, the leadership that you like, that belies like an older player, let alone a youngster. Now, he just joined Frankfurt a couple of years ago, but his contract was already extended to 2030, so this kid's going to cost you a bit of money if you like him, but I like this kid. Very, very good modern defender. Titanium's cashing out. Big up, Titanium. Thanks for stopping by, man. Good to see you again. Junior says, can I ask about the camera thing? Are you talking about the graphic? It's just, there's always a graphic up here. Today, it's just the code if you want to go get $5 off at GoGoalShop. When you register, use that code, you get $5 off. That's the camera thing, if that's what you're talking about. But thank you, Junior. But we were getting Elvin Highland and this guy, Sean, to scout for United 26. We did do that scouting report on Ivan Howland when we were linked to him a couple weeks back, if you guys don't remember that. You guys know I like scout reports. So, like I said, a 2 for today, a couple of Eintracht Frankfurt youngsters. I've got 2 more on deck, so be sure to come back for the next scouting report. You guys know I like the scouts. It is what it is. But Namdi Collins, John Bohoya, moving on to youngsters, from one youngsters to the next. I'm just going to share. Oh, what the heck just happened here? There we go. Boom, boom, boom. So wrapping up with a little bit of news on our youngsters. So we've got a bunch of youngsters who are going out on loan, a couple of whom have been tied down to new contracts before they are doing so. So Ethan Wheatley officially joining Northampton Town on loan. Remember, we talked about that last week or the week before. They could be going to that. Looks like that is official now. Not sure what's going to happen with Wheatley. He's getting to that age now. I mean, he's a couple of years older than Cheeto already. He got a couple of first-team appearances way back when, a couple of years ago under Ten Hag. Been on a loan a couple times. I think he went to where Walsall, I think, is where he went. So we'll see. I like his tenacity. I like what I saw from Wheatley. I just don't know if it's going to work out. When Cheeto is getting into the first team ahead of you, then I think maybe the writing's on the wall. We see that from Joe Hugel as well. Jack Morehouse has officially joined Leyton Orient on loan after he signed a new contract with us. I think that was like a 3-year +1 option in the new contract. So he's going on loan after signing a new deal, similar to what Radek Vitek just did. Remember, Vitek just went on loan. Forget where off the top of my head, but he signed a new contract before he did so. I think Vitek is in the championship, right? If I remember correctly, someone let me know. Like he wants to buy Manchester United in a few years. Well, good luck, man. It's not enough just to have the money. The Glazers have to want to sell, and they're always going to take the option that lets them stay in power. So remember, they do get a say. You can't just rock up with a bunch of money and say, give me the club. They have to actually, it's like buying a house. Someone could offer you like 12 million more than what your house is worth, but you still have to accept it. So it is what it is on that one. James Scanlon could be leaving on loan as well. That looks like that might be happening too. There are a lot of L's in that sentence. Scanlon leaving on loan looks likely. A lot of L's there, sort of like our season last year. And then, JJ Gabriel, absolute baller. Scored a worldie today. In today's segment of Please Don't Give Me Hope, I'm going to put this up on the screen for you guys. Here, I'm going to do it like this so you guys can see it. In today's episode of Please Don't Give Me Hope, according to Dean Jones with Give Me Sport, United are weighing up whether to make a late attempt to sign Hayden Hackney, despite Ipswich Town having a bid accepted. I think it was a £15 million bid. Remember, we spoke about that the other day. Again, this is why we call this segment Please Don't Give Me Hope, because you guys know how much I love Hackney. You guys know I would take him at United in a heartbeat. I don't like to see the hype built up. I don't like to see us put in there. This is probably just our name getting thrown in there, like, as the media is wont to do. But Device says we signed a new midfielder for the academy. I think we signed the Harley Emsden Dames or something. I think he's a defender. We signed him recently. We signed a lot of youngsters this summer. Nanny says, that's a good idea. I got 600 million. There you go. Jump on it, man. So please don't give me hope. Don't attach my name to a Hayden Hackney late push. I would love it. I would love if we took this Premier League Summer Series winnings that we could possibly get over the weekend and go throw that right at Middlesbrough. Maybe throw in Collier as well. No disrespect to Collier. I love you, kid, but I just don't know if it's going to, if you're that quite there. And he's older than I think a lot of people realize. Collier, he's like 21, 22. He's not like he's some youngster. So I think that could work. Maybe even just on loan, let him go see how it does. I would have preferred if Carrick were still there. He's not there. So what you going to do? You guys are funny. Oh boy. But that's pretty much it for me today, guys. Like I said, not like a lot of stuff going on in the news today, but enough to talk about in terms of the Sesko thing. The main thing was, do we think we could get a Sesko? Here we go by the weekend. 79% of you say yes. 71 of you voted. Awesome. Appreciate everybody getting involved. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Remember, it is 20% off for the next few days in the UVE store, including the return of the 9.5 shirt. Go check it out. Use the code to go get $5 off at GoGoalShop. Check the memberships. They do help you get more involved in the channel. The content such as scouting reports. If you guys like what you see and you think you've got players that you'd like to see featured, the Starting 11 membership does do that as well. The Legends membership does allow you to even join in virtually for the weekly Kickabout show when Dylan and I are on talking about all things from the week. So that's another way to do that as well. So go check all that out, you guys. Like I said, check out the store as well. Lucky Singh says Rupp is short. Yeah, no, that's what it's a bit tongue in cheek. It's just a fun Don't Give Me Hope segment. So yeah, you guys know I don't really do a whole lot of Give Me Sport. Caught Offside, Fikahes, these guys, I don't really. Anytime the sources, according to sources, I just kind of move on. So it's fun to talk about. It's fun to throw in there, though. But you guys take it easy. Thank you for joining me. If you weren't able to catch the live, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment on the video after the fact. You guys know I do check the comments out. And so be sure to come back. It's going to be a little bit of a weird weekend. I've got a funeral tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. But of course, if there is news to go over, I will be here. So until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.